Hi guys, this is Dawn Marie and I am back with another video. If you are new to my channel, then on my channel, I'm documenting my journey of starting a digital product business from scratch. So I'm taking you behind the scenes and showing you everything that I'm getting up to, from building the website, coming up with the product idea, where I'm going to share this digital product to bring awareness to myself and my business, the strategies and the tactics that I would be using to build it overall. I'm even sharing my mistakes. So I'm just giving you the raw and transparent content of what it's like and how long it's going to take to build this digital product business. So if that interests you, then I would love if you subscribe to the channel. And if you are joining me again, then welcome back. Now, over 80% of you actually watch my videos. You come back to watch my videos. So I think it really makes sense for you if you just subscribe, because that way you get to receive the notifications of when I publish a video and you don't miss out on anything. Before I get started with my video, I also want to share with you a 10-day action plan, which seems to be really popular amongst you guys because I can see that you are downloading it. Now, this 10-day action plan will take you through, over the next 10 days, everything that you need to do to set up and get your digital product ready for launch. So I'm telling you what to do, when, and how. So who knows, you may be able to launch your own digital product in time for Christmas. Now, because I know how great ebooks are for digital product owners to sell, to make money, I thought it would be a good idea to share with you how you can create an ebook using Canva and Google Docs. So let's jump right into the video.
Okay, so when starting out with Google and Canva, you want to make sure that you already have an idea of what you want to write. So I have already created my content here. And when you do that, here's how you put one together. So I first open Google and I'm going to type in Google Docs. Then I click on this link here and I will go to Docs. Now, Try Docs for Work is actually the paid version of Google Workspace, where if you have a team, you can pay to use Google Suite of products. So instead, I'm going to go to Docs. Now that we're in the Google Docs application, we can see that Google already has some templates that you can use to write your ebook. Now, I already checked out some of these, and I particularly liked these two, so I'll show you what they are. And this just gives you an example of why you don't really need to start from scratch. So this one is the Luke's Report template, which looks like this. And then there is the book report template, which looks like this. Now, as you can see, that there are a lot of features in this template. So there are images, which will help you to break down the text. There are the footers to identify page numbers, as well as there are headers and titles. But today we are going to start with a blank canvas. Now, by this time, you should already have the content for your ebook written out, which I have here, which I am going to create 5 pages of this ebook to show you how it's done. Now, you will see that it's quite simple to do. So what I'm doing to start is I'm taking my content. This is actually a blog post that I wrote for my blog, and I'm simply going to copy this text and place it on my blank document here. You can see that this is a raw file without any formatting, but this is how you format the document to prepare it. So the first thing I want to do is format my heading styles, because this is how I'm going to create a table of contents later on automatically, and also to give structure to my ebook so that it's easier to navigate by my reader. So this will be, so I'm going to add a few titles and headers, and all I'm doing is highlighting the text here, then clicking styles up here. And I could either title this or I could add it as a heading 1. So you should really be familiar with H1 and H2 tags. So I'm going to go ahead and add my headings to these titles, especially where I want some structure. So I want headings and subheadings. So this is how I do it. I'll highlight this. Heading 1. apply heading 1. And I go through my document and simply make each one that I want an H1. Now, I could also do this an easier way. So, for example, the first way is I can simply highlight, go to styles, and apply heading 1. If I want to apply a H1 tag or style to another heading, I can also highlight it, use this paint format brush here, click on it. So when it's highlighted, I then want to go to the text, and I'm just going to make sure that it's on the paintbrush icon and highlight the text. So it goes into heading 1. Now I'm going to make these H2 because these are my subheadings of my H1. So H2, apply H2, and I'm going to do the same thing, paint format. Make sure that the paint format remains highlighted like this, and I'm going to display my paintbrush and highlight. Again, click on the paint format, display my paintbrush, highlight the text, and it applies. Go back to H1 now. So perfect. So all my H1s and H2s are now in place. The next thing I want to do is add headers and footers to my document so that they all appear consistently throughout my ebook. And what you add as a header and footer is entirely up to you. Some people add their business name, title of the book, or logo to the header. The most popular additions to the footer are page numbers, dates, website URL, author name, whatever you want really. So the header and footer is really to keep your book organized. So don't think too much about what should go in these margins. Usually my footers contain my brand name, website, and page number. So to create my footer, I will first go to Insert, then Headers and Footers, and I'm going to click on Footers. So when that is inserted, I will enter my additional information. Now, do you see how big the text is in the footer? I don't really like this, and I prefer my footer being a bit more discreet. So I'm going to reduce the size of my font from 11 to about 8. And then I'm also going to align it to the center. So I'll click out of the footer section. And now you can see that when you scroll through all the pages, the footer is in place. Now let's do the same thing for the header. So again, I go to Insert, Headers and Footers, Insert Header. And this time I want to add my logo here. So I have the cursor blinking. I'm going to click on Insert, Image, Upload from Image. I'm going to find my logo. Then I'm going to reduce it to the size that I want it to be. And I'm also going to align it to the center. So I click out of it, and you can see that my header is now also in place right across the ebook. Perfect. Now I'm thinking of adding an ebook cover as my first page and a table of contents as my second page. I may also want to add a call to action page as my final page, but I certainly don't want a header or footer on these pages. So to do that, I need to create these pages as sections and format each page the way that I want it to. So it won't have the header or footer. So to do that, I am going to go to the top where I want the page to be inserted, and I click at the first header, so the first line of my page, and I'm going to click on Insert, Break, Section Break, and I make sure that I'm selecting Next Page so that this application will insert page before this page. So there you go. I have one section break, and I'm also going to do another one. So I set my cursor there, insert, break, section break, next page. So now I have 2 pages that are blank. So this means I have created 2 pages which I can now format separately so that my headers and footers wouldn't be consistent right across. Now you can see that my headers and footers are still on the first and second page. So I now want to remove these so that they will start on page 3 rather than page 1 and 2. So I'm going to double click on the first header, and I'm going to tell Google to add the header to a different first page, which is the second page, like that. And now I want to go to the second page and do the same. So page 1, page 2, and you can see that it will start on page 3. Now I notice that when I do this, it looks like I don't need to do the same thing for the footers, so that's great. So now I have 2 blank pages, one for my ebook cover and the other for my table of contents. And then the third page starts with my headers and my footers right through. Now let's add a final page, which will be my call to action page. To do that, I go to the end of my document and I simply add another section break. So I have my cursor at the end. I'm going to insert, break, section break, next page. Then I'm going to double click in my header. I'm going to untick link to previous because this means that the formatting of this page will be linked to this page. So the formatting will be similar to the page before, which is what I don't want. I want that I'm able to format this page separately. So I'm going to untick link to previous. And that will remove my header. But you see that my header remains there. And then I also want to do the same for the footer. So I have a blank final page, and then the rest of my document has its headers and footers. Okay, so my ebook looks great so far. I have my headers and footers and my title and H1 tags. Now I want to add page numbers. I want my page numbers to be applied across the whole document, but to actually start appearing on page 3. So the first and second pages will be 1 and 2, but I don't want those numbers to show up there. I only want them to show up from page 3 onwards. And to do that, I make sure that my cursor actually is on page 3. So I'm physically on page 3. Then I go to Insert, Page Numbers, More Options. Apply to, I'm going to state across the whole document. I want it to appear in the footer section only. I do not want it to show on first page, so I untick that box and I want the numbering to start at 1. And I click Apply. So what you will notice here is that my first and second page do not have any numbers, but the page numbering starts from page 3, then 4, and all the way down. Now notice here that this number is slightly different from this one here. That's because the formatting in the footer section has not been applied because I removed the formatting before. So I'm just going to quickly format this and make sure that that is at a size 8 so that it's consistent across. Now, as this is an ebook, you can add links to your ebook if you want to, especially if you want to direct readers maybe to an opt-in or to a product that they need to pay for. So this is what I like using my call to action page for, which is my last page. So I already have my call to action text prepared. So I'm just going to come here, copy this text, and I'm going to add it to the end of my ebook. And this is where I am going to tell my readers, for example, if I have sold this ebook at a low price, but I want them to upgrade to a higher priced product, which might be my coaching program, I will let them know what's next. So they've finished reading the book. The next thing that I want them to do is to upgrade or check out my coaching program. So I've already created the text there. I now want to add a button. So I'm going to tap down. To add my button, I simply go to Insert, and I'm going to use the table format. So I'm just going to click on one square, which will enter it like so. I'm going to click the call to action text. I'm going to format the section here. So first I'm going to highlight the entire box. Then I'm going to come to the background color, fill it in a blue color. I also want my border color to be the same so that it doesn't show differently. Then I want my text to be bold and white so that it stands out and also centered. I'm going to shorten the length of the button. So I'm just going to drag these margins across like that. And I'm also going to add a link to the text. So I'm just going to highlight it all, click on the link. And for now, I'm just going to do google.com, but you can add whatever link you want there so that when somebody clicks on it, it's going to go to the link that you have directed them to. I'm going to click apply. Now you can see how Google formats the text based on the link style, which is what I don't want. So to remove that link style without removing the link, I'm going to highlight the text again, go back to the text color, apply white, and remove the underline. So this still remains as a link, but without the link style. So that is how my call to action page will be. Now, I just want to pretty up the ebook just a little. I think I want to add a horizontal line to my footer. So I'm going to double click on my footer section, add the cursor at the start of the text, and I'm going to click Insert, then Horizontal Line, so it will appear straight across the top. And that's just so it separates the ebook content from the footer content. Okay, so I think now I am happy with how this book is formatted. Now I will add in my table of contents. Now, if you look on this column here, you will see that Google has actually structured your document so that you can easily navigate to it. And that's why inserting those H1 and H2 tags are so important. So if I click here, it takes me to define your niche. If I click here, it takes me to learn to market yourself. I notice, however, that it's only picking up email marketing. It's not picking up these other ones. So I think the reason for that was because I paint formatted the second text. I'm going to quickly highlight, then go to apply H2 heading. So you will see that it appears across there. So I suppose then when you are, instead of using the paint format as I did before, simply highlight, don't use the paint format, but highlight and apply the heading so that it will actually show up here. Okay, so if you have used the paint format as I did before, but it's not appearing in the structure in this column, just simply highlight the text again and go to styles and apply whichever heading you want to apply. So now that I have my text formatted in the way that I want it, it is on this basis that Google will use these styles to create your table of contents. And to do that, I'm going to go to page 2 where I want my table of contents to appear. And I'm simply going to click on Insert. I'm going to scroll down and then right here, Table of Contents. The style that I want it in is where I also have the page numbers at the side. So I'm going to click there. And you can see that I easily have a table of contents inserted. I'm also just going to quickly add a table of contents. Perfect. So now that I have my table of contents, I want to add some images to make my ebook look all pretty. So I think I just want to add an ebook cover. And this is where I will use Canva to create those images. So let's open Canva. And I'm going to go to Create a Design and search for ebook cover. Now this will open in a new window, and all I'm looking for is a cover that I like. So you can see that Canva has so many templates already created for you that you don't really need to put much effort into designing an ebook cover. You simply select the one that interests you the most or you like the most. I'm going to select this one here. Now, Canva's ebook cover is different to Google Docs page size. So if I were to insert this ebook cover into my Google document, it will not correctly fit. So you would notice that this ebook cover here is 512 pixels by 800 pixels. I'm not sure how much that is in millimeters or centimeters, but when I go to my document and I go to File, then Page Setup, it actually tells me that my paper size is A4, so 21 centimeters by 29.7 centimeters. So this is what I want to make sure that my ebook cover is the same size. So to do that, I'm simply going to resize my document. I'm going to click here, and I'm going to add 210. Actually, let's first change the pixels out. So I'm going to put it in millimeters. So 210 by 297. And I'm going to just resize it, not copy and resize, but resize. Okay, perfect. My document has been resized. So I'm just going to now edit this the way I want. First, I want to quickly change the title of my ebook, making sure that I use my brand font. So I'm just going to double click this and make online. And this one, coaching. I'm going to add this in my brand font, which is Railway. Actually, Railway Heavy and Railway Heavy. I'm also going to just space out the letters so that it goes straight across. And I'm going to move the coaching slightly across using my arrow keys on my keyboard. I'm going to also change this to Railway. And I'm going to bring this down. I'm going to delete this text. And I'm going to move this to the top. And add my name here. And to change all to Railway. Okay. Now I want the color to be in my brand colors. So I'm going to click there. Now this brand kit or color palette is under the Pro version. So you are able to add your brand colors. So you won't have to continuously select it from up here using this icon or add new color here. So my brand colors are already selected. Then I also want to change out this image. I'm going to go to Photos. I'm going to select Flat Lay, because I like flat lay images. So what I'm looking for is an image that will allow this text to stand out. So I'm going to click on this one, turn upside down, and just enlarging it. And then I'm going to position it to the back. Okay. So I am happy with my ebook cover. I'm going to download it. And I'm going to head back to my document. I'm going to go to the first page where I want my cover to be inserted. I put my cursor where I want the cover. I go to Insert, scroll up to Image, Upload from Computer, find the cover that I just downloaded. So you can see that I can't really see the entire page because it is quite large. So I want to make sure that I am resizing my cover properly. And I'm just going to reduce the canvas size. So I'm going to go here to zoom and reduce it to 50%. So now I can see the entire thing on the page. So in order to move this image around, because you can see right now I have my cursor on the document, but nothing is moving. First of all, it is selected. I'm going to put this as be actually wrap text. Then I'm going to use the position options and click Fix on Page. So that way I'm now able to move the image as I want. I want my image to the top here, and then I can simply drag it across so that it will fit right on the page like that. There you go. Now, if you want, you can add more images to your ebook. But for now, I think I'm happy with the way this ebook is. The next thing I'm going to do is just add my title. So I'll put Business Online Coaching. And I'm going to save it where I want it to be saved, which I will add it to my drive. And as this is an ebook, there are two ways that I can share it. So let's put this back at 100. So I can either download it as a PDF by going to File, Download, and download it as a PDF. That way you can upload it to whatever hosting platform you want to use, whether that's Amazon or WordPress or whichever hosting platform you want to use. So that's one way. I will download it as a PDF and show you the result. The other way that you can do this is you can share the file directly with users, making sure that you don't save it as an editor. So I'm going to click Share because right now you can see it's private to only me. I want to make sure that when I share my ebook with the world or whomever your audience is, they can actually get access to it. So right now it's restricted to only people who have the link, which is myself. I want to change that by clicking on the downward facing arrow, anyone with the link, but I want to make sure that my general access is to viewer only. There are a few options here which you can add the person as a commenter or editor, but if you leave it as a viewer, the person will not be able to edit this ebook at all. They will only be able to view it and copy and download it to their own browser so they can edit it themselves in a different Google document. So be certain that when you use this way to adding the role as a viewer, the person will not be able to edit your ebook. So I'm going to leave it as viewer. And then I can copy the link and share it wherever you may host your ebook for download. Now, the good thing about doing it this way as well is that you are able to update your ebook whenever you want to. So if you already have your ebook set up, if, for example, you want to update this content, you can simply come back to where you store the ebook and update the content yourself. And the person who already has the link, you don't have to reshare it with them because Google makes those updates dynamically. So the link that you've given to the viewer or to the user, they will also have the updated version as well.
Okay guys, so that's how you create an ebook with Google Docs and Canva. In my next video, I'm going to share with you how to come up with a profitable offer so you can be confident that you are creating an ebook that will sell. Be sure to subscribe and turn on the notifications so you do not miss when I publish that video. That's all for now, guys. I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye now.